بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to episode 17 of the series filtering out what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said. A person asked about a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah revealed to an angel among his angels to destroy such and such city with all of its people, with all the people in it. And so the angel said, "Oh Allah, there's in that city, there's your servant. He never disobeyed you, not even for a blink of an eye." So Allah responded and said, "Turn it over on him and them, destroy the city over on both him and the rest of the people in it, for his face never showed signs of displeasure for my sake." Now, this hadith is not authentic. This story is not an authentic narration, and it's actually very weak. It's very weak hadith. It's not authentic. So it's not an acceptable or a true story. We'll mention a few points of benefit, a few other authentic hadith when it comes to enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, because that's what this hadith kind of ties into. So we'll mention what has been authentically established, because this story about Allah telling an angel to destroy a city, and the angel saying, "Allah, there's one of your servants in it, he righteous person, he never disobeyed you at all," and Allah says, destroy the city or flip it on him or start with him and them. I mean, there's different things you might hear the story with different twists. People sometimes, quote it differently or misquote it rather. And Allah said, turn it over on him and them, for his face never, was displeased for my sake. He never showed any displeasure because people are disobeying Allah. So that story isn't authentic at all. It's very weak. It's not a true story. But let's quote some of the authentic hadith that are relevant. So we do have an authentic hadith from the Prophet ﷺ in which he said, "إن الناس إذا رأوا المنكر فلم يغيروه أوشك أن يعمهم الله بعقاب منه." The Prophet ﷺ said, "Indeed, if the people see an evil, a munkar, something bad, and they don't change it, Allah is about to cover them with a punishment from Him." So Allah will cover them with a punishment from Him. So it's showing us the importance of enjoining the good, forbidding the evil. If we see something bad, something evil, to change it, if we're able to. In another narration, it shows that condition that a person has to be able, right? The ability. Another authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, there's no group of people in which sins are being done amongst them, or within their community, or within that group of people. There's no group of people where sins are being done amongst them. Then they're able to change, but they don't change it. They're able to change the bad around them, but they don't change it. That's critical. Right? Which ties into the other hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which he said, "Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi." Whoever of you sees anything bad, anything evil, then change it with your hand. If you cannot, right, then you do what? Change it with your tongue. If you cannot, then change it with your heart, and that's the weakest of iman. Of course, it's the weaker level of iman when a person isn't able to change it with their hand. They change it with their tongue. They speak out against it. If they're not able to, they change it with their heart. Meaning, within their heart, they dislike it. They wish that if they're able to change it, they would change it. But that shows us the ability is tied into that. So changing the evil, when we see it, it's tied to our ability. We might see something bad, but we don't have the ability to change it with our hand. So we change it with our tongue. We speak out against it. We get someone else to stop it if we can. And if we cannot change it with our tongue, we change it with our heart, and that is the weakest of iman. So going back to that narration, Prophet ﷺ say, again, authentic narration in which the Prophet ﷺ said, no group of people, sins are being done amongst them. They're able to change it, but they don't change it, except that Allah is about to cover them with a punishment from Him. Again, showing us the seriousness and the severity of, when sins are public, they're open, they're widespread, that's a very bad condition for society to be in. And if people are able to change these that evil, those sins, that disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happening around them, where they can see it, where it's public, it's widespread, but they don't change it, then Allah, there's severe warning that Allah would send down punishment that would cover all of them with His punishment. Not just those who are doing the evil, but even the ones who aren't doing the evil. But if they're able to change it, but they don't change it, then they might be covered with that punishment as well. And in another authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ as well, once, as part of a longer hadith, but we'll quote the latter part of it, when the Prophet ﷺ was asked, will we be destroyed even if we have righteous people amongst us? Prophet ﷺ said, yes, na'am, إذا كثر الخبث. Yes, if the khabath, the evil and the wickedness becomes a lot. If it becomes a lot, if it's widespread, if it's so much of it, then punishment of Allah will come down and cover the people, and even the righteous people amongst them might be included in that punishment. But on the day of judgment, they won't obviously be held accountable for other people's deeds. Everyone's held accountable for their own deeds on the day of judgment, good or bad. But in the dunya, if a lot of people around in society are doing bad and people are amongst them and they're not enjoining the good, forbidding the evil, or advising them, calling them to leave off disobeying Allah, to leave off doing bad things and to do good, then they're able to change to the best of their ability. They're not changing it, then they might be included in that punishment. So it shows us the importance of choosing our environment, of being cautious and careful, and it shows us the importance of enjoining the good, forbidding the evil, shows the importance of the environment we put ourselves in, our families in, our children in, shows the importance of advice, shows the importance of enjoining the good and forbidding evil, calling to Allah, and shows us the importance of where we live, where we choose to live, because it's a choice at the end of the day. May Allah protect us all and guide us. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khaira, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.